This is Ian Khan, and today I'm presenting you from my car. I want to talk about something simple. I want to talk about something that's a need within every single industry that you are from. It could be manufacturing, it could be space industry, or it could be something very non-technical. It could be accounting or banking. And the need I want to talk about is the need for simplicity. I think today we are living in an era where technology, of course, does a lot around us. It brings a lot of value. It's everywhere. It's in every home, and we have our cell phones. Of course, it's been overly spoken about and talked about. But the challenge is when it comes to business decision leaders, it comes to decision makers in general. Unless we do not simplify technology, it will not help create value. If you're looking at the next big breakthrough, unless technology is not oversimplified to the extent that everybody understands it and comprehends it and understands the value it can bring, and it's going to be very difficult to convince other people that, hey, technology is something useful and this is what you can do with it. Let me give you an example. One simple example, or two examples. Let's take artificial intelligence, for example. Artificial intelligence has been out there as a technology for more than 40 years. Yes, 40 plus years. AI is nothing new. It has not emerged in the last few years. But here's what has happened. Because of other technologies, because of the progress we've made in computing power, in processing speeds, in generally creating a much faster and larger ability to create change through other technologies, now artificial intelligence is something that's garnering more interest. Now, one of the reasons is AI is in every organization, every company, every innovative enterprise that wants to do something new, something better. And because of that, many more people are tapping into this technology to see if it can work and what can it do. And that's really what AI has been for years and years and years. Second technology is blockchain. Now, blockchain came into existence 10 years ago in the mainstream by the invention of Bitcoin that was released in 2008, that time frame. But distributed ledger technology has been there since the days of Napster. This is about 25 to 30 years ago when peer-to-peer networks made a big bang when Napster, the music sharing service, came into effect. And that's literally when things started. So here's the challenge. Not everybody in the world understands these technologies, and leave aside what they do is the second big milestone. So I think we need to oversimplify things, and we don't need to be shy about it. Now, I'm a technologist. I'm an engineer. I've been within the technology industry all my life, and the one thing that I've seen is that has led to bad decisions or no decisions is confusion. Is when people create this elaborate story around things that are so simple to understand that there should be no complexity around it. So that's what I'm standing for today. In today's episode is simplifying the larger complexities of technology. Going back to artificial intelligence and blockchain, let me demystify these two for you and talk about maybe what do they really stand for rather than what's the architecture of artificial intelligence. And we can talk about that as well, but this is not what we're going to do in today's episode. Now, no matter what industry you're from, no matter what product or service you sell, whether you're an association of financial accountants or you are a manufacturer of ceramic tiles, you are being touched by technology, your customers are being touched by technology, and it's your duty and responsibility to understand how to simplify these things. First of all, let's talk about blockchain. Now, what exactly is blockchain technology all about? Blockchain technology is about trust. Blockchain technology is about peace of mind, and blockchain technology is about sleeping soundly at night because you are not worried that somebody's going to take your money, somebody's going to hack into your business, or somebody's going to do something that will damage you in some way, whether it's your business, it's your revenue, it's your reputation, and so on and so forth. That's the fundamental bottom line of blockchain. Now today, blockchain is being expanded into so many different use cases. It's being used in the beef industry to fight fraud, where and I'll give you an example. Over $2 billion worth of beef, fraudulent beef, is sold in the world under the label of it being Australian beef. Now that's a big industry that is full of fraud. Now one specific company is utilizing blockchain to ensure that product from Australia, Australian beef, is tagged at the source, and that tag, that RFID tag, and a blockchain technology tracks that entire chain of that food system until it reaches the consumer. So consumers now can scan the package of beef and say, hey, let me figure out and find out where this package of beef has originated from, where did it originate, which farm did it originate in, and who are all the parties that kind of are in charge and responsible for this. Now, what does that do for industries such as organics, or where you need food traceability? It becomes very important, because now you're able to trace the origin of food without relying on a third party, because now this chain of command goes right from the point of origin to the end point, which is the consumer. Coffee can be traced and tracked from its origin to the end. Anything that you can think of that is edible and that can be consumed can be now traced from its origin, from the farm to the fork. Now that was missing before, because in the past we would have agencies and companies that would form as middlemen to ensure this traceability, to ensure that, hey, this particular product is actually what it has been advertised as, and this particular product is what it's being said it is. And so that's how fraud in one area of the food industry can be taken care of. We also have something called organic standards, and there's different bodies that certify products as being organic. Now that industry can also be helped through blockchain by enabling a technology side to tracing products right from origin, from their organic farm to the fork. So that's one specific industry. Let me talk about the insurance industry. Now, insurance is a big industry where fraud is very common. I believe in the last few years, there was a survey that came out probably in 2017 that in the US alone, over $40 billion of fraud takes place. $40 billion worth of fraud, insurance fraud, takes place. And this is people fraudulently claiming that, you know, they have an insurance claim, their building burned down, their house burned down, their car had an accident, or something else happened, where they fraudulently claim funds and money that's not theirs. Now this is not right. It's not right because it affects everybody else who is using those providers and vendors for their insurance needs. It affects premiums for other people, because now the cost of doing business for insurance companies becomes so high that they have to charge other people a little bit higher premium in order to stay afloat. Now we all have to support each other, and that's how it goes. Just because a company is large, just because it's huge, banks are big, banks are huge, we don't have to penalize them or say, hey, they're bad, they're the bad people. We all rely on these organizations and companies to do things and to use their services. Now, the $40 billion fraud industry within the insurance sector is huge. And how do we cut this insurance fraud so that we can benefit, we can lower insurance premiums for everybody? One way to do that is blockchain. And what blockchain can do is help trace information and help track information through the blockchain as a database. Now, what would happen typically is, in a land registry system, in a system where property is tagged, property is on the blockchain, and essentially the blockchain captures who the owner of specific properties is on one side. It also tracks healthcare claims, what's your health like, how your health is, and it integrates with something called identity in general, where the identity of a person is captured on blockchain. So right from the day you're born, your identity is on blockchain, on a private blockchain. It's not out there in the open for everybody to see, but it's on some kind of a secured blockchain network. And that identity is connected to your healthcare system. It's connected to your school system. It's connected to your education system, your work. And essentially, your identity can tap into and connect to all these different blockchains that form this larger database about you. Now, going back to insurance, when a fraudulent claim is made on insurance, it is easily traceable back to whether that is a potential possibility or not. Now, in terms of fraud, you've got to eliminate some possibilities. And through technology, through the combination of blockchain with some other technologies, we can figure out that, hey, is this normal for this claim to happen, or is there an abnormality? For example, if the records of maintenance, if all the records of maintenance for a property are captured on a blockchain, okay, and now that building, for example, or that property gets damaged and it gets burnt, it's very easy to not notice that property has had recent maintenance, or it has had some really great maintenance. Or you could also see on the blockchain that no, this property has never had maintenance, and if this fire has taken place or this damage has taken place, it's very likely that it's genuine. So you can detect cases of fraud, but then definitely it doesn't mean that there's a clear distinction and it's a white or a black, but it means that there's a huge likelihood that we can spot different cases of fraud, different anomalies that can be traced. And although there's complexity to this industry, but this is another use case that has not been explored a lot. Companies and vendors and providers are working on this, but there isn't a full-blown blockchain-based accounting industry or accountability industry that's here yet. That's case number 2. Why don't you think about your industry and write down your comments underneath this video and tell me what your industry is. What industry do you work in? And I can give you an idea and a potential use case on how your industry can see transformation through blockchain. Now, let me ask you something. Among all the different industries that you've probably seen change as a result of emerging technologies, which one of those technologies do you feel has been overhyped? Has it been artificial intelligence, blockchain? Has it been cloud? Has it been big data? Tell me about your insights so we can have a meaningful conversation, and I'll post my comments down in the comments below. Depending on the industry that you work in, it could be any of the thousands of different industries that are actively working on adding value to people, to our lives and the broader world. Many industries are still struggling with digitization, with a digital transformation, or quite simply going to the cloud. Now, many industries, including finance, including banking, are generally struggling to even do these things, because sometimes it's much easier said than done. It's much challenging for institutions and organizations to spend millions and sometimes billions of dollars to just create something new. I mean, if things are working, why break them? If something is not broken, then why fix it? And that's one of the mentalities and strategies just to stay afloat. Now, over the years and the decades, margins have been going down. Companies and organizations have been struggling with keeping things afloat. So it's not been a priority generally to put money towards R&D, research, new ventures, and that's what we need to change as a global business community. is to protect our interests and to be future friendly and to be future looking forward to the future, we have to start investing our time, money, energy, and effort into more technology so that we can create much more efficient business practices. We can create much more value for our organizations and change what we do in the best possible way. My advice to any business, any organization today that's functional, that's working hard, and that wants to stay in business and wants to stay current and relevant, is look at emerging technologies and existing technologies as a way to create more efficiency in your business. Look at emerging technologies from a perspective of being able to create value for your business and businesses and organizations and your customer bases and your partners and your complete entire ecosystem. And depending on what's going on and what industry you're from, you may or you may not need to invest in new technology. I don't always say that you've got to spend thousands and millions of dollars and prove to the world that you're a future forward looking company. You have to, though, invest your time more than anything else. You have to invest your time and energy, the time and energy of your executives and your channels, to understand what technology can do for you. So if you're not doing that right now, please start doing that. Create a technology strategy for your company. Create a technology direction, a technology blueprint for your organization to see where can you go with technology. What are some of the things that are happening in your industry, in the broader world around you, in your community, in your business community that impact you? What is happening in other industries that impacts you? How are other industries adopting to new technologies, and what are they investing in that affects you and that affects what you do as a business? And if you make that as a starting point to create this change, then everything else, all the subsequent steps, are actually easier. You will find your direction and your guidance and where you need to go. So that's an essential first step that you need to take as a business, is to create an understanding that you have to spend time in understanding where technology can take you, what technology can do for you, and where you should be going. Now, in the next couple of weeks, I'll give you an example. In the next couple of weeks, I am traveling intensely. I'm traveling to Asia. I'll be in Europe. I will be in the Middle East. And again, speaking to thousands of different people on the broader topic of emerging technologies, but also specifically talking about AI and business practices and success, and how all of this impacts us and how we can succeed and make ourselves more valuable to anything and everything that we do. My suggestion to you is, this is the month of April. You still have 2 more weeks in April to go before the month ends. Why not be proactive and start this step right now? This week, get together with your team, with your leadership, with your people, and have a discussion on how you need to create and why you need to create a technology strategy. How about doing that without investing any money, without doing anything else, or going on a buying spree of acquiring companies? Just meet with your team and say, why do we need to have a technology strategy, and how can we start the first step? And that is your challenge for the week, my friends. And I hope you're able to do that. Put your comments down in the comment section. Tell me how that went, and tell me what you're doing right now about changing your life and changing your business. Thank you so much for watching my show. My name is Ian Khan. I'm here to serve you in any capacity that I can. I hope these videos are useful and they give you a little bit of inspiration and motivation to go out there and change what you can change, because you have the capability of doing that, and you're capable of unlocking a tremendous amount of potential, given that you want to do that. So please go out and chase what lights you up. Please follow my channel, subscribe to my channel, follow me on social media, find me on social media. My handle is Ian Khan Futurist on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and every platform you can find me as Ian Khan Futurist. Thank you so much. I wish you peace, success, peace of mind, and I wish you a lot of success today, this year, and in the years to come. Thank you, and take care. I see the world in a different way, and you need to see what I see. We must recognize that we came from a very good place. As humans, as people, as a society, as a race, we've been amazing so far, and we should love us. But nothing remains the same forever. Things change, seasons change, life changes, and change is a constant. We live on the belief that tomorrow will be better, don't we all? Isn't that why we live, why we survive, why we build, and why we dream? The future is approaching us very fast. This is a technology-driven future, a future of rapid change. But this is not necessarily a bad thing, because it brings with it a huge transformation and a new era in human history. To get there, we must walk on a specific path and not just choose short-term happiness, but create sustainable success. We must start thinking differently, start thinking loud, start thinking big. The time to do that is now, right now, because tomorrow is being created right this moment. This is the future where people will be happier, healthier, live longer, and stronger. My name is Ian Khan, and I'm driven to unlocking your potential by showing you what the future holds and to help you get there with a proven process for success. My work as an author and a documentary filmmaker helps me convey ideas that can create real impact. Over the last 20 years, I have worked with hundreds of organizations in helping them understand the future and how to succeed. I've worked across the world, from Dubai to Denmark and Seoul to San Francisco, challenging CEOs, challenging heads of departments and governments in pushing their limits to think differently. Using a proven methodology of the 7 axioms of value creation as a foundation and deriving insights from rapidly evolving technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, the Internet of Things, and more, I can help you understand the future of industry. Come join me. Let's build the future together, right now, right here, today.